Hey, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and today I want to take you through what I call the three-part effective funk bass formula. I'll see you inside the lesson. So one of the challenges I see so many of my students facing is how to add those subtle nuances and variations to their bass lines. This is often the thing which makes the great bass players of this world sound absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to show you this three-part funk bass formula where I could break a single bar down into three pieces. I call this the hook, the body and the link, and I'm going to show you exactly how this works in just a second. But before we hit the lesson content, I'd love to know who is your favorite funk bass player, or what is your favorite funk bass line? Let me know in the comments below. So all the ideas I'm going to show you today are based on a one-chord funk groove in the key of E, and everything we're going to be covering is largely based on one scale, which is the E minor pentatonic, which I'm going to take you through right now to show you the notes we're going to use. So this is simply an E, a G, an A, a B, a D, and an E. So just get that under your hands to begin with. But to add in some more nuance and interest, there are some chromatic notes which can sound really, really great in funk music. So what we're going to do is we're also going to add in a G sharp here. So we're going to go E, G, and then we're going to add in this chromatic G sharp here to take us to the A. And then there's another chromatic we can add in here, which is the A sharp here, which is going to take us to the B. So we've got these two chromatic notes so far. And then we'll go up to the D there, and then there's one more chromatic note we can add in there, which is a D sharp, which is going to take us to the E. And this is going to be the palette of notes that we're going to use in this lesson today. So here's the core fundamental bass line that we're going to be working with today. So I'm going to break each of those one bars down into three areas. And the first part is what I call the hook, which is this bass line here. So first of all, get that under your hands, which is simply an E, and then a dead note at the end of the first beat. And then we go from a G to a G sharp like that. And that is the hook. That's the most definable part of the groove. And then we have what's called the body, which are the notes in the middle of the bar, which largely fall over beats 2 and 3. And so we're going to have 2, 3 even offbeat 16th notes. So they sound like this. And that is an E, a D sharp, and a D like that. So let's put that together. Then we have the link to bring it back round, which is 3 16th notes at the end of the bar, which is simply a B, a D, and a B like that. So we end up with this. Don't forget, this is all written out in standard and notation and tab with the PDF that comes with this lesson. So the great thing is, once you know the hook, the body and the link, is you can leave particular elements out to create more musical interest. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to put the drums on now, and I'm going to leave the body out, then I'm going to leave the link out, and I'm just going to play around with these three ideas so you can see the variations we can get by simply just pulling stuff out of the groove. So once you're comfortable with the concept of the hook, the body and the link, and how you can just vary the groove by leaving those three elements either in or out, the next stage is to work out how to change the notes of those grooves now. So I'm going to take you through three more ideas now. First of all, we're just going to use exactly the same rhythms to begin with, but vary the notes. So example number 2 is going to start off with exactly the same hook, which you know from before, but the body, we're going to take those three notes, the D, the D sharp, and the D, and just simply put them up the octave, like so. And then the link, we are going to change the notes to a G, an E, and a D, like this. So the whole bass line sounds like this. So I'm going to play this with the drums now, so you can hear me experimenting with these three ideas. So just before we hit baseline number 3, I'd love to ask you, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure you subscribe to the eBassGuitar YouTube channel, because we release a video every single week designed especially for beginner to intermediate bass guitar players. By hitting the red button, which is somewhere around this video, you'll be the first to know when it goes live. So for baseline number 3, we're going to leave the rhythm exactly the same as the previous example, and we're going to leave the hook exactly the same too. So this is the hook again. Then for the body, we're going to play the 3 offbeat 16th notes as an A, an A sharp, and a B, like that. So we end up with this wonderful chromatic idea. And again. And then for the link on the last 3 16th notes of the bar, we're going to go a C to a D to a C, again like this. So we end up with this line. And again. And round and round. So let me have a jam with the drums so you can hear what this all sounds like in context. So for the fourth and final example today, I want to show you where these ideas can start to go. So we're going to vary the hook this time and create this bass line here, which is based on the initial example, which sounds like this. And what this is simply a D hammering onto an E, da, da. And then rather than the dead note, we're going to play an E at the end of the first beat. And then we're going to go from the G to the G sharp like that. And again. So that's the hook. Now for the body, what we're going to do is we're going to play 4 16th notes placed on the 3rd beat of the bar, which is an A to a B like that. And then we're going to go to the D to the, an E to the C like that. And you can slide into it. Slide into the A, into the D rather. So we end up with that line. And then for the link, we're going to do this very cool funk line at the end of it, based on the concept of what's called a tritone. And you hear guys like Larry Graham using this a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide into a D, up at the 12th fret on the D string, and then a G sharp at the 13th fret on the G string, like that, and then back to the D again, like so. We end up with that cool. So the whole line sounds like this when we put it together. Obviously, you're welcome to vary the articulation. Hammer on, pull on, slides is completely up to you. So to finish the lesson off, I'm going to jam on that last bass line. Then I'm going to start integrating some of the ideas from funk bass line number 1, 2, and 3 that we covered earlier in this lesson. And you can see how all these ideas can start to build up your library of licks and variations that you can use within a single bar when you're playing a funk groove. So guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. If you've enjoyed this lesson, make sure you download the free PDF so you can see all of these ideas written out in standard notation and tab. Also, if you're looking to learn how to create bass lines from the ground upwards, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com and check out the Bass Lab Plus. This is a full program designed especially for the beginner to intermediate bass guitar player, which will teach you all of the most vital and important skills that you need to know. So make sure you click the link in the description below where you can join free with a 14-day trial. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com. I'll catch you next time.